On this episode, we want to give a shout out to Shelby Bottoms Nature Center and Park. We love this park. When we were deciding to do dad walks, we knew this was the park we wanted to go to. They've got lakes, they've got playgrounds, they've got baseball fields, they've got it all. You've got to check out Shelby Bottoms Nature Center and Park. Welcome to another episode of the Nashville Dads. This week we have on Jamie Free and Ian Schinelli. They met while working out together with a group of dads they call Dadurdays. We talk about a lot of things in this episode, such as memories they've made with the Dadurdays guys, being competitive, Justin and Ian's questionable nutrition habits, and understanding your parents. This episode is very much for dads hanging out and talking about life and sharing stories. We really hope you enjoy. Welcome to our podcast. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
We're just going to talk about your dad life, basically, for a bit. So, how many kids do you have?
I have two. I have a boy and a girl.
I have one daughter. She's 7.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to move your mic closer.
And for yours, you got a 2-year-old?
2.5 and a 10-month.
10. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's got a fresh
How is that?
Still fresh.
It's fun.
Yeah.
That pause said it all.
My wife is amazing. All right. So I like to work, and I'm very, very good at working. I'm less good at staying home with the kids. She's great at that. So it's a good balance.
Okay.
But adding a second kid, I don't know how many you guys have.
I have 3.
You're nuts.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I have one, and we are working on our second. But we were just talking about, we just are getting over the passy. No passy at all.
Yeah.
And I looked over, and I was like, I don't know how we could have done this if we had another kid with us, because this is hell.
So my wife was adamant about not having a pacifier for our son, who's the second child. And then at some point we were like, we should have given him a passy because he won't take one now.
Oh, yeah, you missed your window.
Yeah, missed the window, and all he wants is boob. So
Yeah.
he's on the boob all the time.
Yep.
Nonstop.
I respect that.
Yeah, no. Listen, he takes after his dad.
That's it, you know?
It is what it is.
Ugly in,
That's hilarious.
That's like...
I had no idea that was usually what happened if no pacifier.
I mean, I couldn't tell you what usually happens. I've never been around kids. I love kids, but I've never been around them before my own. I've never held one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What?
Dude, I've never held a kid until I held Cora. It's wild.
That's funny.
Did you have any brothers and sisters?
I have a sister. She lives in Connecticut, so I don't get to. I've seen it. I've been around her kids. She has twins.
Yeah.
We have like 7 or 8 sets of twins in our family.
What?
So,
Oh, man.
yeah, I lucked out.
You did, actually. Yeah. No, mathematically, you got very lucky to not have twins.
And my wife was like, we're going to have twins this second one. I'm like, we better not.
Yeah.
I'm like, we better not.
Yeah.
That's it, because I'm going to move out. I don't know what to do. I'll pay
You
for
want
stuff,
twins?
but
I'd take twins.
No, I don't want 3 kids.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
Yeah,
two
my
kids,
friend Alan, first kid, waited about 2.5, 3 years, was just wanting to have one, ended up having twins. And man, their life is
It's a different world.
That's an absolute freaking nightmare to me.
My first 3 kids are 23 months apart, so like they're within 2 years of each other.
Wait, what'd you say they are? Boys?
2 girls. I have 2 girls and a son. So I have an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So
The
girl,
girls
boy.
are close? Oh,
Yeah.
So they can share clothes.
Yeah, they can. It's actually very
fantastic.
nice.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Dressed
Save
in
a
the same.
lot.
But like, I feel like while they were super close whenever they were born in age, like that's still not twins.
Right,
Like it's still like one could walk around, communicate, and point to stuff while the other one screamed and cried. So like, I don't know how anyone does twins.
Do you want to hear something really?
Yeah.
My kids are technically twins.
Are they really?
Yeah, we did IVF for ours.
Oh, okay, cool.
So they're embryo twins.
oh wow.
They look.
that's
That's a whole different
fascinating.
spectrum.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got a whole different twin thing.
They look a lot alike. Like
Okay.
it's pretty. Both blonde hair, blue eyes.
Never
it's wild.
realized that for IVF you could technically be twins.
Yeah, the same embryo group. I mean, technically they're.
Do you know now
Put together
down to like
together.
what chromosome they're not the same?
I
Like,
mean,
they
one's a
legitimate
guy and one's a girl.
I mean, there's still
So at least one.
There's a wiener and then there's a vagina.
but like
That's how I
the
know.
DNA.
No, I mean, we didn't go through that stuff, but I just know we
That's
did
wild.
one time, one draw for all the eggs, and they all were blastocytes together. So
You know,
crazy.
And for Evan, I think he got the like pick
Oh, really?
from the litter or whatever. Like he was like, and the doctor was actually like, this is probably the most viable, going to be the most smart, the most athletic
Yeah.
one.
Mathematically, these are the ones you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
they
crazy.
do that. It's why. So the first time with my daughter, we didn't do any genetic testing,
Okay.
and then they recommend it when they unfreeze them to do it again. So we had to do genetic testing on the 4, and I think on the 6 that we had left, 3 came back as abnormal.
Okay.
So they won't put those in,
Yeah.
which kind of makes you feel like, am I kind of an asshole?
Yeah.
Because they won't let it happen. But like, I'm like, man, that was a life. But,
Yeah.
I got real soft when I had my daughter.
Did
you? Emotionally soft.
He sure did.
So I'm like, start get emotional. I'm like, those are our kids.
my babies.
Yeah, it's
'cause
like
they
you
are,
know,
though.
but so then we had a boy and a girl. We put 2 in each time, and 1
Okay.
came out, thankfully. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've seen his emotional roller coaster from not having kids.
And I've seen his
yeah,
as
mine's
well.
a whole different.
How long have you guys been friends for?
3 years, 4 years.
3 years, December of 2020.
Okay. How did you guys meet up?
Another dad in our group,
Yeah.
Walker. He's another military guy. Him and I would work out during COVID. We used to go to the same gym in East Nashville, and then one day, every morning, him and I were working out like 4 o'clock in the morning. I would, drive through North Nashville and 4 o'clock in the morning and go to his house and work out. And one day he was just like, "Hey, you need to go with me to Trivium for Saturday morning." And I was like, "Okay." We came in and it's all guys like Jamie. So I was like, "This is better." better than just him and I working out together. So we had a bigger group, and then I think Jamie was like, "Hey, you should come work out again." So
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then I came and worked out a lot.
Well, we actually,
And you still are.
Still are.
I went and worked out with him one morning. He doesn't remember
I
because
don't.
he didn't speak to anyone.
I'm not
He was like doing muscle ups, and I'm like sitting there like, who's this guy? Why is he not saying?
he won't
doesn't-
introduce
hasn't said
himself.
anything.
No,
It was
I
like-
don't.
It was
I'm
me
just-
and Steve and
I had like just got out of the military a little bit,
Yeah.
I was kind of still in the I don't know anybody and just pretty quiet.
didn't want to know anyone.
pretty much to myself most of the time.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten out of my shell a little bit over the last.
I would say
it's
you
taken a few
have.
years, but
Yeah.
I've done it. So
I would say
Yeah.
so.
yeah, but we've known each other since then and worked out just for a very long time together, and we have for time to time now we still do, but it's few and far between. Is mostly just on Saturdays because
Okay.
everybody's schedules and
Yeah.
dictated. So
Just having kids in general, man.
Kids change
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
I work out at 3:30 in the morning, so
Oh my
no
gosh.
one wants to wake up with
No.
and work out with me anymore.
That's the time I would have to if I wanted to work out before work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go in at like 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I work all the way down in Laverne. So.
oh wow.
Shoot, that's a hike.
But yeah, I would have to work out at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, nope.
I'm good.
I can call you if you want me to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Like a little,
start,
little
like-
alarm
no,
clock.
thank you.
Jamie,
Hey,
me.
wake up! Let's go fitness.
Well, you're already awake, so like you should be doing something, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll wait.
now you have no excuse.
Now you have no excuse. Yeah. So
I'm going back to the gym come tomorrow. So, but I'll be there probably around 2
in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Let the body warm up a little bit.
Yeah,
right.
you know.
That's right.
What makes you wake up? Like, I could never wake up and do that. How do you actually wake up that early and do workouts?
Honestly, it's if you had to, you would.
Okay,
like,
cool.
I don't think that it
By
takes any sort of
necessity.
special mindset. It's just like all
A
right,
habit you learned.
just gotta do it.
Yeah.
And I know I'm a better person. I'm a better dad. I'm
Yeah.
a better husband when I work out. So it blows off some
for sure.
steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have to say, working out is such a huge stress relief because when I'm not either working out or playing basketball or something, man, I can just feel the tension in me.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's when I'm a dick to all my all my employees.
It's really just any kind of movement.
Yeah.
If you do anything, like I
Yeah.
mean, today's for the most part a rest day for most of us, I guess. But like I swim on Sundays, and it's just like once I actually get to go into the pool and go swim and get done, I'm like, thank God I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoy it, but I think it's just the
It's
movement
almost-
of anything.
Yeah,
we
it's
do.
almost a feeling of accomplishment. Like you're like, all right, that's done. Now I can go on with the rest of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it always feels better early. It's tough sometimes. Like I'll go earlier, or if I go to a different gym like Lifetime and stuff, to swim or work out early, but it feels better to get done and get accomplished in that way.
Yeah.
The rest of the day is good to go.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we've talked a lot about how like sometimes whenever you start your like day of work and stuff, like the second you step into your office, or whatever, it's like, cool, I don't know what I can control until I like am off work, basically.
Right.
So to be like, oh, I'm going to go at lunch and go do a workout is like, you're probably not. You're going to get it the second you step out the door. You're going to get a phone call of a fire that you have to put out. And then you're going to be like, cool, this was, all right, never mind. Not working out again today.
Oh, yeah. No, one of my first jobs out of the military, but there was the office we had over here in Brentwood. They had a really nice gym in the office.
Yeah.
So you shared
nice.
space. And lunch was exactly that. I was like, we're in the office, but it's lunchtime. I was like, I'm going to go in here. I'm close if I get called. I got, like 45 minutes to an hour. I can just work on here. They had showers. Like, this is kind of the dream right here. That's what I need all the time.
Did you give Jamie any advice on what it was like to be a girl dad?
No.
No?
It was more of like, hey, you're in the club now,
Yeah.
That's about all it really was.
It took me a long time to get there. So,
Cool.
I think it was the anticipation of it. I think it was more like, I don't know what the F I'm going to do with a girl.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been a girl. And then I had a girl, and it's like, this is the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with a boy?
Yeah.
And I still don't know what I'm doing with him.
I mean, no. One, to answer your question, there was no advice whatsoever. Like, we're not the same person. Like, they're not going to have the same kids. So for me, it's like, I don't feel like I can kind of give that advice. I'm just like, for the most part, I was like, you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, for me personally, I'll be honest, like, I wanted a boy.
Yeah.
I for sure needed a girl, and I'm glad I have a girl. I couldn't imagine having a boy now. He knows my daughter very well. She's in the gym a lot.
Yeah.
She comes, and
That's
pretty much
awesome.
everybody at the gym knows my daughter. And I treat her like a boy for the most part. Like, I'll paint her nails and stuff like that. But other than that, I treat her like I think I would have, treated a boy. It's like very tough on her. I want her to, excel and exceed in everything she does. So I'm like, there's really no difference for me except she likes pink a little bit. So that's about it. So
A little more stuffed animals or something like that. Yeah.
I think a lot of the times, like for me with my daughter, we socialized her at the gym because we started during COVID. So there was no daycare. There was nothing like that. It was just, we had the gym open, and in Williamson County, it was only 5 weeks that we were shut down. So she ended up spending most of the time in the gym. Now she just goes in the gym and she's like, oh, like she owns it. And it's like, and Reagan's very similar because like she's there so often. It's just like, she just starts pulling stuff out, does a workout, and then you're just like, all right, these kids are pretty self-sufficient.
That's fun.
Yeah. Just swinging from the ropes, rings, grabbing some dumbbell or, kettlebells and stuff like that, and enjoying
Like it's
their
nothing.
time. So, no, it's what you want. They don't, want them to be, kind of, I guess, acclimated to more the adult culture is what I like to do, and have her around more adults. She's got her friends, obviously, but like having her in that environment and seeing what guys and girls are doing in the gym, it's like I want her to emulate that more than I want her to emulate, other things that she could possibly be watching. So
Pretty much. I'm a big believer of like, you just kind of bring your kids along with whatever adventure you're going on.
Everywhere.
That was most of my childhood also. It's like I would run errands and I'm like, cool. All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
And then your kids like pretty much watch how you treat people and what day-to-day life looks like. So it's like the best opportunity to treat them how to be like a decent person, basically.
It really is.
Well, the more influence you have, the more you're around them, the more influence you have on
pretty
them.
much,
So, I think that one of the only benefits of COVID was like remote working.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife or I are around our kids all the time.
Yep.
So, they're not going to get anything that, we disagree with necessarily. I mean, my daughter does go to school, but, it's Montessori school, so they're just learning.
You have a kid and you realize how little of a like gap or window you have to actually like lay a foundation with them. And you're kind of like, all right, I hope I'm doing this correctly.
Yeah.
Because in like, whenever, my daughter is about to turn 8. I'm like, cool, in 10 years, I have like 10 more years of like, okay, cool. Can I influence you to like be a decent person basically
Right.
and build a good foundation for you? Because about in 10 years from now, I'll find out if we did a good job or not at doing that.
Yeah. You're exactly right. I think for me, it's more of like instilling certain things that my parents did for me. I came up in a military background. My daughter doesn't really know. She knows I was in the military. She doesn't really know a whole lot about it. She's learning more this year, but it was kind of like the first like 3 years of her life when I was still in. And so she's not really accustomed to like what that lifestyle is. But I grew up on like the yes sir, yes ma'am, please, thank you, all that kind of stuff. And so every time she doesn't do that, I kind of give her that look, and she's like, oh, sorry, and she'll say it. So like just trying to get it every single time.
Yeah,
I've
so
seen
she doesn't
him
miss
do
a
it.
beat on it.
I've seen him do it, and she's like immediately like there's a certain look, and then there's a response.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have to say anything anymore. I just look at her, and she knows that she messed up, and I'm like, okay, we're good.
Were your parents like career military people?
No, my mom was not. My dad was in the Air Force.
Okay.
14 years, and then got out, and then I pretty much did the same thing.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
What did you do in the Navy?
I was a SEAL.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, cool.
All right. Heck yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad was a medic back in Vietnam.
Oh, cool.
But he hung out with a lot of SEALs.
A lot
And
of
he had
UT guys, yeah.
he had a very loose tongue and would always get the SEALs into a fight because of him. Oh yeah.
He would like start crap between
Oh yeah.
them.
My guess is they
against
weren't
them.
disappointed in that.
No,
so.
not against them. Like he would talk crap to people at bars, I guess, and have the SEALs back him up.
The SEALs were his like enforcers.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean he was basically built just like me. Definitely not.
He was in the military to be a medic, right?
Yes, to be a medic. I mean, heck, he couldn't even swim. I don't know if I think I've told
Navy
this.
was a good choice.
right? Yes.
I
Is
keep
there water
asking my
involved?
dad. My dad still can't swim to this day.
Yeah, I remember
he
you telling me
drowned.
this. Yeah.
So when he had to go in, I guess you had to swim around the pool, and they would have poles. So if you grabbed onto the side, they'd push you back out. Well, he drowned, and they had to resuscitate him. And
They're
they're
like,
like,
cool, pass.
Yeah, they were like, that's good enough.
Yeah.
we need
Go
accountants, right?
Good,
We need
good enough for
accountants, right?
government work, right?
You
Yeah.
can sit behind a desk.
Sit around a desk,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You can get pension in like 10 years from now. You'll be fine.
Oh, good. That's cool.
But yeah, I don't think SEALs can do that.
No, you gotta swim. You gotta swim a
You
little
gotta
bit.
swim
a little
You
bit.
gotta be decent, I guess. Yeah. Decent at swimming. So.
The non-swimming SEAL variety.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
He's a very good swimmer.
Yeah, that shit ain't gonna pass.
It's demoralizing.
No.
Yeah, it's you spend a lot of time in the water, so you gotta be somewhat proficient, I'd
Yes.
say. But it's a little bit different. Like people ask a lot, like you must be really good at swimming. I'm like, I am now because I train kind of that way. But like, you don't swim freestyle out in the ocean. Like it's not the same thing. We swim for miles, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles. But it's all
Carrying gear too, right?
It's gear, it's combat side strokes. So like nobody sees you're in the water. It's a much different style than just freestyle for 5 miles. I'm like, yeah, I'm good, but it's different. So it's like, all right. But now I swim.
Now you swim for like fun and enjoyment.
Yeah, mostly for the workouts. Like I did an Ironman last September.
Nice.
Kind
Dude,
of on a
that
whim.
is insane.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was on a whim. I had a buddy of mine, Ken, who we do a SEAL swim out in New York City every year. It's a big fundraiser type thing in the Hudson River. So
okay.
if you like terrible water,
Basically.
come join us.
Yeah.
But it's about a 3-mile swim you do, and it's a bunch of SEALs and veterans. And he was like, hey, let's do an Ironman. I was like, cool. And then like months later, he's like, hey, my ankle hurts. And I'm like, all right, well, I already signed up.
I guess
so I gotta do it.
So
I trained for a little bit, and then I had a random opportunity of like going to South Korea for a TV show. So I went to this TV show.
Oh, cool.
Then I had a month of like nothing, and then I came back and I had 1 month to try to get it all back.
Yeah.
And then I had the Ironman. I was like, this is a terrible choice. Like it's a bad mistake. But
Regrets.
But you finished it?
yeah,
Wow. How many hours?
a little over 12.
Wow.
You should see him. There's a video of him running across and everyone's like dying around him, and he's like just walks off.
So
Just
my
casual.
It was more of like I was over it.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
a long time.
my
12 hours is a long time to do
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
my friend Chris, who we had on the podcast, he did the Ironman in Chattanooga,
That's the one I did.
That's what he did.
and this was in 2015 that he did it, and he was skipping across the finish line. He did it around 12 hours or so, and then was just like, all right, let's go get a beer. And there were people with those
Space blankets.
space
yeah,
blankets
yeah.
on, passing out, getting IVs.
Yeah, you just
and
worked out for 12 hours. Yeah. Like,
It's just
He's insane.
It's interesting. I've met a few people that are like, I trained for a year, I trained for 2 years, and I was like, all right, well, I guess if you're trying to win it, maybe, or I don't know. It was just, I really came back from about a month of not doing anything except for being on this TV show, and then had about a month. I was like, I got to try to pick this back up, and it was
That's
it was
impressive.
Just it was kind of stupid, honestly. It wasn't really. I wouldn't say impressive, but
you got kind of lucky.
Impressive.
But
Yeah.
I got kind of lucky, honestly. But
Yeah.
I cramped during the run, and I was like, well, this is the end of my, this is it, right? I'm gonna run cramped for about 19 miles. I was like, this is great, and so absolutely miserable, but because of kind of like the military stuff, I was like, well, I can't quit.
Yeah, I was gonna say most people would probably quit at that point.
Yeah, I just wasn't gonna do that. I was like, I'm just gonna be
Have you
busy
tried?
for the next like 2 hours.
First of all, I wouldn't even sign up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, because the swim, 2 miles,
Yeah,
right?
2 miles.
It's 2.4 miles.
Yeah, I have literally zero interest in that.
That was the best part.
That
Oh man.
is
It
the
was the best
worst
part of the whole
for
thing. It
me.
was the best part of the whole thing.
I float about as well as a rock.
Well,
Dude, I'm the same way, man. I suck as well. I got that
there's
from
a
my
little,
dad, I guess.
little bit of apparently
passed
you
down.
definitely get from your dad. Yeah, it's passed down. It's for sure genetic for you. No, we got a little bit of a downstream for the swim, and then I didn't know, but you actually got to wear your wetsuit, and I haven't worn a wetsuit to swim since I was in the SEALs.
Yeah.
All the training you do for like CrossFit competitions and stuff, you don't wear a wetsuit. You're just in the pool and you do some
Swimming,
exercises and all that
yeah.
kind of stuff. I was like, all right. And so when I found that out, I was like, oh, I can actually float now. Like I sink, and so it was just, I got to swim fast enough to not sink, and so getting to wear the wetsuit, I was like, this is great, and way faster than I expected to finish the swim. And then I think the bike was probably, besides cramping on the run, the bike was probably the worst. And I FaceTimed these guys while I was on the bike.
What?
He
I
did.
don't think you're supposed to have your phone, so I hope Iron Man doesn't yell at me for this one. But I FaceTimed these guys. I was like,
Because that's
hey.
100 plus miles, right? Or
Well, another fun fact is Chattanooga is now 116 miles for the ride, which is every other race is 112. But for some reason, before the start of the swim, somebody had mentioned like, hey, they added 4 miles. I was like, hey, cool. Like, why?
Now you're telling me this?
It's already 140 miles, so let's just add 100. Make it
What's an extra
144.
4?
Does it really matter at that point?
No, it doesn't
Like,
really matter. So
Up 4 miles, I was like, oh.
Fine.
they were,
That's what happened.
they had asked me, a couple of guys in our one of our other group threads was like, hey, if you see this guy, let us know. It was like somebody from another gym on the east side of Tennessee, and then I passed him, and I was like, hey, I'm going to FaceTime the guys, let them know. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the
A lot
guy's
of,
name.
a lot
I
of
know what he
people
looks
do
like.
that.
Really?
A lot of people, no. No. Just him.
I needed some company when I was
So
on
if,
this ride.
what I'm picking up on is if Ian challenges me to anything physical,
Don't
just
do
say
it.
you
Don't
win.
do
Just
it.
say, just
I
immediately
wouldn't
submit.
No, but I won't quit. That's for sure. Like
yeah.
I mean, I'll get him on some strength stuff,
Oh,
but
for
I'm
sure.
not getting him on a lot of other
Endurance
stuff.
and
Yeah.
anything
Oh,
like
definitely
that.
not endurance. No, I'm not. I'm a short burst athlete.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys do like competitive weightlifting or competitive athletic things, whatever the term
CrossFit.
for it is? CrossFit?
Mostly CrossFit. I mean,
Yeah.
the Ironman was honestly on a whim because that guy asked me to do it, my
Yeah.
buddy, and I'm gonna be doing like 2 triathlons this year. That not really. I find it as like a good supplement to like the stuff that I like to do. It's kind of like, all right, I like to swim and running's whatever, and biking I find fun, but it's more of just like another thing to add to the fitness level versus I want to go win a triathlon. Like those guys weigh half, the body.
Oh
weight,
yeah, I was gonna
like,
say.
Yeah.
You don't look
And
like
they're
a triathlete.
and they're riding, $20,000 bikes. I'm like, I'm not going to invest in that a
No.
car for a bike. Like it's just not my thing. So I enjoy it, but I'll be doing a few of those.
Yeah, those bikes are
They're
super,
spaceships.
Holy
Yeah. They're
spaceships.
expensive. That are like you can pick up with
you can, yeah.
like
Do you
one
know how
finger.
demoralizing it must be to have this guy ride by on his bike? That's like
Oh, the bike I had was like,
$300.
well, it was like $1,200 or $1,300 back in 2011. I bought it in Coronado when I was still a SEAL. So it was like I'm riding around, shirt off and flip flops kind of thing.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
riding. I was like, just have it. And when I was riding, I was like, or when I got asked to do the event, I was like, well, I'm just gonna keep this bike. It's
This
fine.
works.
It works.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I'm just putting out, like so much effort to get the same speed as these guys, just barely moving their bike,
Yeah.
and look like they're floating on the concrete. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is ridiculous. So
you
as
didn't
he's
want to-
passing them.
Yes.
Yeah.
sheer will and determination. So that's about it.
I feel like speed bikes are one of those things where like I don't think about it, and then I have one friend get into it, and I'm like, oh, how much did you spend on your bike? And they're like, oh, only like 10 grand.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
F that.
only 10, like that's a car. That's okay. All right.
That's a bathroom and kitchen remodel.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
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 That's a lot of
That's the way I look at
So
things.
how long
Yeah.
have you been doing this hobby for? Like 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
And you
yeah.
talked your wife into this how? Like
Dive right in.
basically.
I used a credit card and I didn't ask her. I'll ask for forgiveness later.
Yeah.
Oh, that's-
There's no forgiveness for that.
Not
what
for
these
that one.
bikes are is just absolutely insane. So, but no, again, fun sport.
Yeah.
I enjoy
You
it.
enjoy
I,
it,
you
yep.
know, met some great people doing it, and there'll probably be more. But I just can't get behind buying a $15,000
yeah.
bike, $20,000 bike. Like,
Other than triathlons, do you do marathons or anything like that as well?
my first marathon was the Ironman.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I went with that one. I mean, you do a bunch of long distance runs or unknown distance runs in the SEALs. Like, it's, okay, we're going for a run. It's like, well, great, here we go. Or when you're in training, they just don't tell you. You just go until
They say you're done.
they say you're done. And so it's kind of like, that's the mentality for me. I'm like, I don't care. I'll keep going. It's going to suck. I don't want to do it. But for the marathon, I was like, well, I'll get a few runs in before we do it. And I think I hit like a 13 miler at some point. I was like, that's probably good enough. Like, I'll be good. It's only a couple more miles.
It's only like double it, but it's fine.
It's like double that. It's fine. So that's probably why I cramped.
Probably.
It's probably why I was miserable. But no, I've never done a marathon besides that one. So I kind of checked off two things at the same time of doing the Ironman and the marathon. So
Jesus, man.
I probably won't do a marathon.
Yeah.
I don't find it enjoyable.
Yeah. I hate running.
Yeah.
If there's a group of well, I'll tell you what, we did a Ragnar together. We did a Ragnar race together.
Okay.
Wait, what's a Ragnar race?
We don't actually know.
To be. So I've done two.
Okay.
I've done one the right way, and then I've done one the Dadurdays way.
Okay.
Before he tells you this, I will say this is I would say it's easily one of the most fun experiences I've ever had in my entire life.
Okay.
Was with our Dadurdays crew doing a Ragnar race in, was it West Virginia?
Yeah.
In West Virginia. And it was
Black
just
Hills.
Okay.
unbelievable the amount of laughs that
And
we
fun you
had
had.
and fun
Cool.
we had, and everybody was miserable.
Yes.
I mean, miserable.
I actually broke
Miserable
my foot.
together. Did you really?
Yeah.
All right. You got to tell us. Please tell us the story
It
now.
was so good.
So we rented a van. The van actually was out of tags too. We didn't know that. So we, so
Good start.
good start to that. No, we had 10 of us in a van, and we rented a house up in Davis, West Virginia, which was pretty far from the venue.
About an hour.
Oh, okay. Not so close.
Yeah,
But
not so close.
There was it's West Virginia. I wasn't gonna stay in like a
That's a country
I don't
mile.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a country
So
mile.
so we end up doing this all together. We're working out in the driveway beforehand, like bands, dumbbells. Someone brought a bench. Like, I mean, it was just
Oh, we had an interim Dadurday guy that lived here for a little bit that
He's in
drove down
Maryland,
to
yeah.
visit us. He had moved back to Maryland, and he brought down some stuff to meet
Okay.
us and join in on the festivities. So.
so we ended up the whole point of a Ragnar is a relay.
Okay.
So you're supposed to, one guy runs, then the next guy runs, and the next, and it's like this overnight thing. Everyone camps.
You're following them
Yeah.
in a van.
In a van, yeah. But this one was actually, there was a campsite, and it just looped around. There were multiple loops, which was kind of nice. But no one, who signed us up?
Trevor initially.
Trevor. Okay, so our insurance agent
Yeah, Dadurday's
signed us
insurance
up, and he ended up not reading any of the directions. We brought no
agent. Like
camping
literally
gear.
nothing. We had no information.
We had no camping gear. We had no extra clothing. It was essentially the worst thing
You
that
had
could
what
happen.
was in the van.
We
and
had
that
some
was all you
like
had.
some goos, some couple Snickers, stuff like that.
No food, no water.
Oh, no.
It was not ideal. So we were looking at each other. We were like, well, let's just get out of here. And someone's like, no, we're gonna run it. We're gonna run it. All right. So we all just decided one person would go run, and we would sneak in behind everyone and just go run with them. So our whole group ran together for each loop, except for I didn't do the last one.
Because you broke your foot, apparently.
I broke my foot on the first run. I ran the second one.
This is a 2-day evolution, right? Like you got plenty of time for one person to run 4 miles.
Yeah.
In a trail, whatever. And then the next person comes back. And so you're sitting with your boys or your group, whatever it might be, for 4 or 5 hours in between each run. Yeah. Nobody took into consideration like how long this was going to take, and they needed to get home. Everybody except for me had wife and kid at home, right?
Yeah.
It was my free weekend, right? So I was like, hey, we're gonna, we'll do the run or whatever.
I'm good
so
with whatever, guys.
We'll do whatever we
Yeah.
want to do. Like, I'm here to party, and so to his point, it was like, all right, well, somebody from a different group saw what was going on, and they were like, they could see the band of misfit, like the Bad News Bears, just sitting there with one, a tent, but like nothing prepared for it. People had grills, people like TVs outside,
they had like beds,
cooking
in, like,
up brats and stuff. Like this is insane.
Stuff.
Like it's a full thing, which I didn't realize the level that people got into Ragnar races. I had no idea. I've seen people do it on their Instagram and stuff like that. But at one point, it was like, we're gonna leave, and I don't remember who it was. We're like, let's just do a loop. We'll figure it out. And somebody from a different group was like, hey, why don't you guys all just run together?
Yeah.
Might as well. We're all in a group anyway, and so we'll run a loop together. Say we did it. We got some fitness in.
Yeah.
We'll go back to our Airbnb and we'll leave, the next morning to get home, so everybody could get back to
lessons learned,
helping out the family and stuff like that. And so we get one loop in, and we had about a 20-minute break. Like, hey, let's throw down a Red Bull or a C4 and maybe have a Snickers or something like that. And it's like, let's do the next loop.
Yeah.
And so I think everybody hopped on for the next loop.
Yeah.
If I remember. Yeah. But that's when the turning point happened, where it was like, once that finished, guys were just dragging in, like it looked like Normandy. It was people just limping across the finish line kind of thing. And one person would run over the bridge and get put the tag up for us. And then we got to the third loop, and we had done, it had been a couple hours by now, or it was going to get close to sunset if we didn't start. And so half the group was like, we're not doing this. Like, I'm cramping, my shins hurt, broken foot, like whatever it might be. We don't have any nutrition. We have nothing here. And so,
which sucks because I'm a nutritionist. So
yeah.
It's like,
I
really kind of failed.
You'd think we'd have somebody on board that'd be able to take care of this for us. But
gosh. It's like the chef, you go to their house and it's like, I have nothing.
No food, can't cook.
I got some mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Nothing prepared.
I think this is expired, but we can still try it.
So we actually, 4 of us left with the van and apparently all his snacks.
Yeah. They took the only snacks that I had. So
that's awesome.
when I get done, I'm like cold. I'm not even sweating anymore because I've had no nutrition whatsoever. So I'm completely dehydrated. I cramped the last mile. So I was like, this is just great. And I don't know where the rest of my guys are. I had to wait another like 20, 30 minutes for the next person to come in. And when we finally get done, we're just trying to shovel in whatever. Some people next to us were giving us some food. They were like, we know what you guys have been doing. Like,
they felt bad for you.
They knew how dumb we were.
Yeah,
so,
basically.
Yeah, we finished up, and it was, these guys had taken off. But again, there's more to it, but it was just the camaraderie. Of,
absolutely.
The camaraderie of like doing the whole thing together and like just being miserable the entire time, but like just still laughing about everything the whole way through. I was like, this is why I love this group of guys. Like honestly, everybody was miserable. I mean, I was miserable. He was miserable. I'm like, we're still laughing about it.
We went back to the Airbnb. The 4 of us went back to the Airbnb, cooked all the food. We like went and bought food, cooked it all. It was steaks on the grill and all this stuff. And then these guys, it took, I think it was Parker or Logan that took a really long time. So all the food was cold by the time they got home. But these guys had stopped at a convenience store and got like
loaded up. I mean,
Doritos.
It was the best.
It
was the best gas station experience of my life. And we were trying to find like some taquitos or something, just something to like
any
salt
form
to
of
get
protein?
in there.
Yeah.
Anything honestly. And I don't remember
Corona.
Somebody was like Corona Light, and I was like, smartest thing I've ever heard in my life. We popped this thing open in the truck, and I was like, this is the best beer I've ever had in my entire life. Yeah. Like I don't drink a lot of beer anymore, if at all.
Yeah.
And I have never had a better beer. I mean, it was incredible.
I will say the person driving did not.
The person driving was not drinking.
That's good.
But he was he only ran one loop too. But he was partaking in the snacks as well. And we had ice cream Snickers bars. I mean, again, we didn't have our nutritionist on hand, so it was a free for all for us. We're like, we're gonna get after this.
$200 bill at the Circle K.
Honestly, I think we did. It was like $100. I think it was wild.
Which is impressive to do at a gas station.
It's hard.
You guys were extremely high or something like that.
Yeah,
Just
you guys walk in, buy every Dorito in sight.
Oh yeah, I mean we were still swetty, dirty. Yeah. I don't even think I had shoes on, which I don't normally wear. I mean,
yes.
I don't wear shoes.
Sure, the gas station attendant was just like, I'm not asking questions.
Hey, they're paying. They're paying. That's all. They got a credit card. We're good.
Please don't come back.
This is a one-time thing. But so much fun though. I mean, just with the group of guys, it was a whole reason of like having this group of guys together. It's just such a great experience. We laughed the whole way home, which is another 9 hours back to Nashville. And
Man,
you're kind of like, what are we doing next? Like, what's the next event we're going to get involved in? So
I drove as fast as I could.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like, we can cut this down to 7.
Oh, jeez.
What did I think?
And then we got pulled over.
With your outdated tags? Oh, my gosh.
On the way home, it's like the cop pulls up. He's like, hey, so your tags are out. I'm like, Logan,
Yeah.
Logan rented the van. I'm
Yeah.
like, how do we have a van that doesn't have tags? And how do we legally rent that?
Yeah, I don't know
Like,
how that works.
That doesn't make sense. The cop was very nice, let us off.
So just to clarify, for this trip, though, you had someone rent a van who didn't think to check tags.
Correct.
And you had someone sign you up for something who didn't read a single instruction
Yeah.
for it.
You nailed it.
Do you still let them do those responsibilities for you guys?
I mean, the thing is, they are some of the most responsible people.
They really are.
They really are.
Yeah.
I mean, Logan and Trevor are some of the most responsible people
That is
imaginable.
amazing.
And it's for these two things. You're kind of like,
They
what
just dropped the ball.
little blip in the radar. Like, what happened, guys?
It's like, oh yeah, I guess cars should have updated tags, shouldn't they? What do you get? What's your guys' day jobs? Like, what do you actually do for jobs besides hanging out with dads and working out?
I'm interested to hear your.
Yeah.
I work for a tech firm.
Tech firm?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we just do like systems integration. A lot of smart engineers. I just help with the DoD contracts.
Okay.
Very boring. I did private equity for a few years
Okay.
before that. And then I worked at Gartner for a little bit, which is like a research and advisory firm.
Okay.
Cool.
It's a lot of like IT, CIO type stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I have no idea what he does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm like, he's like a movie star, whatever. That's
it's
fine.
like the George Costanza imports exports, and you're like, cool, yeah,
Works.
yep.
It actually reminds me. You guys seen American Psycho?
Yes, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
in Murders and Executions. Mergers and Acquisitions.
Oh, so right.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
We did do a lot of acquisitions.
Well, I've been a nutritionist for almost 20 years.
Okay.
I am the director of corporate wellness for a company out of Fort Wayne. I own a couple gyms.
Yeah.
I have like 7 jobs. It's expensive to live in Brentwood.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's I get to do what I love pretty regularly, which is kind of a blessing. So, and it affords me the opportunity to house something like Dadurdays and, get a bunch of dudes together that have common goals. And,
How did that start out, the Dadurday thing?
man, in 2015, honestly, me and Steve, one of our guys,
Founding members.
yes. We just started working out really early because we were trying to avoid certain people in the gym. And we're like, he started having kids.
We're
and-
still doing that.
You're still, yeah.
We still avoid people.
Yep.
But he started having kids. He's like, this is the only time I can go. And, we don't really want to see this guy. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's go at 4. And then it turned into 3:30. And then it turned into 3:15. And it just kind of kept getting earlier. And then slowly over a period of time, more people just started showing up. And then we pushed it back a little bit. Now it's like 6 o'clock. But
Late.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Late start.
Yeah.
Late start.
I've been up for 3 hours.
You're on your second breakfast by then.
But like the guy that brought Ian in is Walker. He's a ranger.
Okay.
So it's like we have just a really eclectic group of people.
Yeah.
John's a tech guy.
Yep.
Parker's in construction sales.
Oh, okay.
Yep. HVAC?
I think so. Yeah.
HVAC. Yeah.
Trevor's an insurance agent. We just have it's all over the place.
Yeah. Oh, eclectic
Yeah.
group of guys.
Soccer coach, former
yeah.
MLS player, who's a soccer coach now. Cool. So it's the like-mindedness really just comes from the competitiveness, and I think that we all just I like to look at it this way: we have a group of people that don't look at the other person and think envy at all.
Cool.
They think support.
Yeah.
So like this dude goes to South Korea to a TV show, and I'm like, man, that's cool. I'm not like, man, I wish I could do that. I'm like, dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. And I'm excited for him for that stuff. And like, I'm excited when Steve gets to do something. Like, it's not a group of people that are petty.
That's
know?
cool. That's not a
No,
guarantee.
there's like none of it. There's none of it. I've never
You avoid those people, huh?
Try to.
Yeah.
I try to
tried
avoid
to
a lot of
for sure.
people.
Yeah. that's an understatement.
I'm an
yeah.
introvert. So
Gotcha, yeah.
I could talk about nutrition and stuff like that all day, but when it comes to like small talk, it's like not the guy.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'll just stand in the corner and observe.
And be
Yeah.
like,
People watching is awesome. I
Yeah.
could do that for hours.
Yeah. It's it's better than talking most of the time.
But yeah, a lot of the like you were saying, a lot of the guys are just very good at their craft and what they do, and I think it's cool to hear about guys like wins, but at the same time, not always, but sometimes guys will bring in their problems to discuss it kind of thing, because they know, like, we've all been through it.
Yeah.
I've probably been through quite a bit compared to some of the guys, but it's like somebody has something that resonates with somebody else, and so it's kind of like, just, you can air it out on Saturday with work out, and some guys stay later and talk longer or do fellowship type stuff depending on the schedules. Other guys got to bounce because they got get the kids or let their wife go work out or whatever it might be. So it's just a very, very supportive group that I will say I'm glad I got introduced to and have made some very good friends out of it for sure.
Cool. That's kind of why we started this.
Yeah.
Started to get to know new people, new dads, listen to what these dads have done versus us. And then we also started the dad walks every Saturday. It's nothing like what you guys deal with.
You can walk over to the gym with us if you want.
It is us casually walking.
I appreciate that. Yes, the casual strolling through Shelby Bottoms on a Saturday morning is a little.
Is that where you guys go?
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to live over there by Stratford High.
Okay.
For a few years, but I would go golf over it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like that and run through there. So it's a cool spot.
And we wouldn't start so early. It was 9:30.
9:30.
It's like lunchtime.
9:30
That's lunchtime for our group. So.
Yes. But no, because you kind of hinted at earlier, you have a kid and you're kind of like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Where's my support group for this? And it's honestly, part of why we started a podcast was just be like, guys, just talk to dads and be like, how do you feel about your life right now, man? You doing okay? And then just kind of go from there, because it is not a guarantee to find a group of guys that you trust just to talk about what your life is about and to feel like they'll be supportive of it or they'll listen to you.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I anticipate someone. It's hard to be honest and vulnerable because you expect someone to not respond well.
Right.
So so it's pretty difficult to find a group where it's like, hey, I'm gonna let you in a little bit. Is this gonna be a good decision or an awful decision? I'll probably find out in a week from now which one it was.
I think for me, I'm pretty open with the people that are close to me about the stress. And honestly, the stresses of being a man these days is kind of out of control. We're supposed to be soft but dangerous, and we're supposed to be loving but cold. I mean, it's just one of those things, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I have no idea half the time. I don't even know what masculinity is anymore.
Nope.
So it's just figuring it out, and my wife will tell me if I'm off base.
Yeah.
She doesn't hold back. So.
Yeah.
Sounds like my wife.
I know for me, my wave of where that is when I have my daughter, I have her 50% of the time. So when I have her, I'm way more patient.
Yeah.
Way softer of a human being. And when I don't have her, it's like, game on. Don't piss me off. It's been building up. Whatever it might be. But then I get the next day that I get her, I'm like, okay, we're back to being dad.
Yeah.
When I don't have her, it's like, I get to talk to her, stuff like that. But it's like, I'm not saying I'm a completely different person, but it's there's that edge of I can be soft and patient when I have my daughter.
Yeah.
When I don't have her, it's like that mode gets shut off real quick.
Yeah.
I'm back to being
whatever.
Yeah.
But I can understand that because when I travel, it's work.
Yeah,
I'm in a different place, different headspace. I don't have my family around me. So it's just all right, well, they're pretty much my whole life.
Yeah.
If I don't have them, I'm just going to do this one thing and we're just going to keep going forward. So, I can understand what you're saying with that aspect of things. Me driving is not calming at all. So,
nice. Triple digits.
I'm slightly aggressive on the roads.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did you saw the tank I drive?
Yeah, I did. Yes.
That thing's never going to die.
The Land Cruiser?
Yeah. 99 Land Cruiser. I mean.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Yeah, it's steel. It's
they'll go
real
forever.
Deal. Yeah. So.
How many miles?
200.
All of them.
200.
All of them.
I think it's 260.
Only
That's
260?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's not much for a 99.
Listen, I worked my rear end off to have my whole life within 5 miles.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, it's I don't drive it that much. It's just to the gym.
A lot of short
back.
bursts.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Hey, my car
Nice.
and I are the exact same.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
Short
I'm noticing
bursts.
a theme here.
I'll see him leave the gym, and then I might blink, and he's back, and I'm like, "You definitely went home.
Yeah.
Got something, came back, and it's 2-3 minutes back and forth."
Yeah.
nonstop, all the time.
Yeah, sometimes you got to eat, right?
That's how my life is for the most part. It's like, okay, cool. Our school's within a mile, grocery store within a mile or two.
Yeah.
I have to drive to the east side. Oh, that's technically 5 miles.
Yeah, it's a bit far. It's a bit far for my
A
taste.
bit too much. So, because it adds so much calmness to your life.
Yeah.
And like already, whenever you have multiple kids, like the opportunities to not be a calm person are very easy. So you're like, okay, what can I control that'll make my life where I'm a better version of myself? Cool. Everything's within 5 miles of where I live. That actually makes me a better person. So I'm gonna kind of lean into this.
I just like the efficiency of it. Like my daughter's school is on the way to the gym.
Yeah, that's
drop
nice.
her off,
Yeah.
go to the gym, do work. I have an office there.
Cool.
And then I'll go home for lunch, see my wife, and then come back to the gym and work out and do the stuff I have to do. I mean, it's convenient, it's efficient. I really enjoy it. I like structure.
Yeah.
And structure is my friend.
Structure can have some good to it.
Yes, absolutely.
Friend. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's kind of how I think of operations managers. Always logistics, always trying to find the best route for all my. That's how it was for us. We have a daycare that when I go home, I go past it, pick her up, and I go on. But I do not have a 5-minute drive.
No. If only you did.
But 24 sucks, by the way.
Yes.
24 is brutal.
Yeah.
Luckily, I go the opposite way of a lot of that traffic. But holy hell,
Yeah. No thanks.
there's wrecks on that interstate all the
I
time.
don't even know the last time I was on 24.
Really?
Well, between Nolensville,
Stay away
between
from it.
Nolensville and Nashville, like I don't know if I'm on that section ever.
Okay.
I try to not go on that.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I get off. So we go to church in Murfreesboro.
Okay.
So we get on 24 for that, but I stop at Burkett. Like I'm not going past that. Like Burkett, I'll go through Nolensville.
Yeah.
But I'm not going into Nashville or past like
Sure.
Bell Road or anything like that.
You're like, I'm good.
No thanks. I'm good.
Well, thanks for driving all up to Nashville for this up. But it's also an off hour. It's
I went
like-
down Franklin Road.
Did you
So,
really?
Yeah, it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
that
it's
bad,
totally
yeah.
fine. Yeah, straight up 65, it's
Yeah.
totally fine. Yeah.
So,
It's honestly good to come back in this neighborhood just because I don't come in this specific area, but like it's nostalgic, like being in college and all that
Yep.
kind of stuff. And I was telling him when we pulled up, like that used to be a Harris Teeter
Yeah,
over there,
man.
and I was like,
Yep.
Yeah.
man, I used to go there all the time. I just ride my beach cruiser down there,
Yeah.
hang out at Harris Teeter.
I
get some
mean,
stuff.
everything about Belmont Boulevard is completely different. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
wild.
think I would have gone to Belmont if it looked the way it does now.
Oh no, it's just complete. Yeah, it's a whole different thing down here.
I mean, when we went there, it was like, between 4,000 and 5,000 students, kind of a cute
this-
little school.
You probably remember, but the soccer field was in the middle of the
Yeah,
campus.
of course. Yes. Yeah.
Because I played soccer on the.
Did you? Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was to see that gone. I was like, man,
Now it's a quad.
Kind of a lot. Yeah. Who hangs on the
Yeah.
quad, man? It's like
No, no one.
it's like '90s movies. You know,
Where
like,
else do you play your guitar? That's where you have to play your
that's a
guitar.
very Belmont
And
thing.
some-
Someone
and some
streaking
hacky
through the
sack.
quad.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
Somebody's
propose
singing.
to my wife in a gazebo at Belmont, so I did do the most like Belmont proposal
Cliche
possible.
thing possible. You're that guy.
I was
Okay.
that guy.
Listen,
So
at least there
I've
was-
Got it.
evolved.
At least there was some thought process there.
There was.
Like I got engaged in my garage, so you know.
Nice.
And I actually I got married.
While working
In
out.
the garage.
No, I got married. Possible. I got married in the parking lot of a
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel.
See,
Wait, what?
I know this.
Why?
See, I know this.
Did you buy the ring inside Cracker Barrel?
No,
It's actually it was a wooden ring.
I
is what it was.
honestly
Came from the Cracker
I
Jacks.
wish.
Do you really?
I wish I did because the one I bought I paid for a long time.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't even there. So
Yeah.
the guy who signed, who did our ceremony a year later,
yeah.
ended up signing the paper, and I wasn't even there. So I don't even know if I'm legally married.
You should probably look into that.
Well, we got.
So
we
why
had a
weren't you
wedding.
there?
That's just like tags.
I
on
was
the car.
working.
I couldn't do that.
You were
I
working.
was working. But you
So
know,
what I've really learned from this episode is not to trust the Dadurdays group with paperwork. It's
No.
kind
Yeah.
of
it's a bad idea.
what I'm
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's just
Picking
up in
up
the
on
air. You know, it's
just,
fine.
yeah, I mean,
It should be fine.
It's
It should be
signed
fine.
somewhere.
It should be
You're
fine.
Work
fine.
its way
as long
out.
as you got as long as you got the paper signed, you're good.
Yeah.
my wife is Russian. I'm not going anywhere. So she'll find me.
Except
She's Russian?
Except a body
How
bag.
did you meet her?
Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. No, she's originally from Santa Monica.
Okay.
Her whole family's Russian. So like, she was actually working out in Atlanta. She was a flight attendant. So she would come through Nashville occasionally. And she was looking for a gym because she was a really good CrossFitter. She would actually, there's multiple levels of CrossFit. It's like there was Grid League, which is like the professional league, and that's kind of what she did. So she's actually much better than me
Okay.
at CrossFit, which I don't know how I feel about that. But,
Insecure, probably.
yeah, a little bit.
A touch.
But she knew a friend of mine down there, and he connected us, and she just wanted to like work out. And then I asked her out on a date, and when she came in for flight attendant stuff, and here we are, 9 years later.
Nice.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, so
Wholesome.
wholesome. Like a lot of people meet on Facebook. At least it wasn't like Tinder.
No, or Bumble.
I don't even know. What
I
that
don't
is.
either.
I don't know what Tinder is.
A
I've
friend
never
told-
been on
yeah,
Tinder.
same. I've been married for like 11 years.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like I have single friends who are like, oh, I tried this app. And I'm like, you could have said any word just then. And I would
Anything.
be like,
It
yeah,
would
cool.
have made sense.
Yeah, basically. I'd be like,
I
sure.
was
Cool. How's it going?
Yeah.
very lucky with my second marriage and not having to deal with any of that Tinder
Yeah.
or what was the Christian one?
I just find
Christian
farmer.
fishes.
There's
Yeah, farmers
there were
only?
Farmers only. Yes, there
I think
were
it's like-
so many.
That
It's
checks
like
out.
something
That checks
for
out.
fishes
Yes.
or something like that.
Yes,
Oh,
I think that's what it was.
Fishes. Yes.
I mean, and I got married in 2008, so they didn't have any of that. Then I got divorced in 2015, but I found my next wife within months of filing for the divorce, so I didn't have to deal with any of that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
God, those are good times. Yeah. Those are such good
Oh,
times.
the lack of responsibility I used to
College,
have.
yeah.
Basically.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
You always wish you were older, back, but now you're like, I wish I was back in college.
Shit, I don't want to go back.
You don't?
No.
Oh man,
No, I'm good. I always say I'll go back for one game. I would play one game. I would love to hit someone.
Do you have eligibility?
No.
That'd be cool.
I was 4 here's another flex. I was a 4-year starter.
Oh.
what
Yeah.
team?
Ithaca College,
Okay.
Division 3. Yeah. So we were pretty
I
good.
wish I had eligibility still.
yeah.
I would love to like.
I'm stronger than I was when I played.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
I
insane.
played
Yeah.
soccer, dude. We didn't lift.
Yeah, you weren't strong.
What
I-
position did you play in
Center
soccer?
mid.
Center mid? Okay,
So
cool.
I'm a little
Makes
tall
sense.
for center
Yeah.
mid, but yeah, I mean, I was real little in high school. Like,
Yeah.
Like scary little.
Yeah.
My parents were afraid I wasn't going to make 5 feet. So
Aw.
yeah. But here we are.
Here you are.
We made it.
6'3".
We made it.
When did you have your growth spurt?
It was actually like my senior year of high school. I grew a foot,
Oh my God.
Wow.
gained about 70 pounds. So
Yeah.
I was under 100 pounds for most of high school. But
Oh wow,
yeah, I was a little guy. But
I was
much quicker, much faster.
125
Yeah.
in high school. I was pretty skinny.
Wow. I am feeling very hefty. I was 200 pounds in 6th grade.
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah. I've been this exact weight since 6th grade.
Wow.
He just morphed differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. The composition's
It's
a little
different
I'm a
composition.
little taller. I got up to
Different
like
composition.
250.
Okay.
I was pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But sports were a benefit. So
Yeah.
competitiveness.
I've never been heavier than I am now.
Really?
Yeah, like 215. It's about all I can get to.
Dude, when I started working with you, you were 190 something.
Yeah,
So I feel good about that.
yeah.
Almost.
Bulking up.
Nutritionist.
He
There you go.
sometimes eats the way I tell him to.
I mean, I'm a garbage can. It's
Are
not
you
like-
really?
Yeah, I don't. I'm not a
You're
beacon.
good with
I'm not
whatever?
a beacon of health at all.
I
I'm
am-
pretty consistent on like the same breakfast every morning, like bacon and eggs and fruit and
The
toast
only
Yeah.
one,
and stuff.
he tags me in that one.
And that's the only one that
Tag me
I'll
in
tell you.
any
That,
other
like,
stuff.
if you saw the sleeve of 19 Oreos that I ate
Yes.
later on after that, like,
Yeah, man.
then you'd be like, what is wrong with this guy?
What are you doing?
That
buddy.
that is totally me, man. I will just golf down any chocolate, anything chocolate. When we went to the Put Shack thing, they had beignets
Oh, I smashed 3 servings of those in
with
one sitting. It was-
chocolate
yeah.
sauce and
Caramel
caramel
sauce.
sauce.
Yeah.
And I just lathered them up.
You
And I
only
was
had, like,
oh,
2,
I,
you
I would
know.
have had 5 if
You had-
Haley
you-
wasn't there.
You technically had a form of self-control.
Oh, I
because
don't.
of
Good for
her.
you. I don't.
Oh,
There's
I
no
would've-
self-control.
Oh man.
Because it's one. It's. I think it's truly like the slight addiction to. I mean, addiction to sugar. Obviously, it's
Yes.
like you do it without. I do it without realizing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I fucked up on that one. Like
Yeah.
I shouldn't have eaten that much. You
The
know, like
dark chocolate Oreos.
dark chocolate Oreos.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big mega stuffed.
Okay.
Have you had those?
I have not.
It's beyond the double stuffed.
Jamie is dying slowly.
See, I'm more chocolate. Like I will take and I shouldn't.
Oh no,
And
are you
this
going to
is
talk about your cereal
my
preference?
cereal preference.
I love it. Let's go.
It'll be Cocoa Pebbles, and I will take 2 packets of the Swiss Miss dark chocolate,
I respect that.
pour them in there, and then I will take the Hershey's dark chocolate syrup and put that in there and just eat a giant bowl of it.
Wow. That's
And
aggressive.
I still have not had diabetes yet. Probably will soon.
Keep it going.
No,
Keep going.
I have not had that in
I'll
a couple
legit.
of
I mean,
years.
I'll try that.
Dude, it's good, man.
That sounds
It is
real
I mean, it
nice.
so
sounds
good.
delicious. I
It
also
sounds
have
real
a
nice.
headache thinking
It
about
really
eating
does
that.
sound good,
Like,
Yeah, it is.
but I can't.
No, yeah, I get it.
I mean,
Jamie's body would convulse, I think.
Shut down.
I don't do well. I don't eat a lot of sugar. I don't
Yeah.
eat a lot of fruit. I don't eat like a lot of any carbs really. But like Easter
I
season
do.
is hard.
Oh,
It is.
yeah.
Fucking Cadbury eggs. Man.
Yes.
so good. I
I
more am like,
love
I know once I start, like Sour Patch Kids are my like vice.
I
Like if
respect
you
it,
give
yeah.
me a 5-pound bag of Sour Patch Kids, I would eat it and not realize eating all of it
Yeah.
until it was like my mouth was destroyed.
Bleeding.
At
Until
the
you're
worst
putting
sugar
until
hit.
you're putting your finger at the
Yeah,
bottom
exactly.
of the sugar. Like,
And I'm like, hey, Devin, what happened to that
It's too
5-pound
much.
bag of
Yeah.
Sour Patch Kids? And you're like, you gave it to me an hour ago. What did you expect?
Yeah.
So I just try to not get any of it in my house
Yeah.
because I'm like, if this is here, I'm doing this. So
All I
let's
can
just
see
get
is
it
you doing
away.
This and just
Just like get it
brushing
in
your
your
teeth
teeth.
with it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's how I feel about freaking Cadbury eggs, man. There's a 5-pack of Cadbury
eggs?
Cadbury.
Yeah.
He's
I
more.
don't-
He's not questioning the pronunciation.
I'm not
He-
correcting the
He's
pronunciation.
questioning the quality of the thing.
Like, that's your thing?
I just really like them.
All right.
I don't know what
Not
to tell
peeps.
you.
It's not peeps.
Going-
it could be. It could be
Yeah.
Going
something
back
else.
to
I
my
do love
chocolate.
marshmallow, but I will not eat Peeps.
They have a dark chocolate Cadbury
I
egg.
do love a good mallow.
Do you
So
think-
you just
really?
like dark chocolate.
I love dark chocolate.
I do too.
I
Is there
am
a certain
I'm a
is there a
chocolate
certain
hawk.
percentage,
No,
the degree of dark chocolate? Like
Nope.
you'll hit the 90?
I will just hit it all. Yeah.
See.
Wow.
Justin,
Have you had True Fruit?
True fruit. No, I don't think so.
All right, so there's these. It's like they have the frozen ones. It's like real fruit,
Okay.
wrapped in dark chocolate,
Okay.
and then they have freeze dried ones. The freeze dried ones taste like malt balls. They are
Well, I haven't had those in a while.
freaking tastic. You get them at Target or Publix.
I haven't had those in a minute.
You should go.
Those are good.
Which one? Malt balls?
Yeah.
Yeah. These are like healthy malt balls. He's like, I'm gonna put them in my cereal.
I'm gonna put, screw the cocoa pebbles. You're gonna do a bowl full of
Yeah,
malt balls.
that's-
all of that on top of it.
I would do. Yeah, I mean, honestly.
The Reese's. What is it? The Reese's peanut butter cereal. That
Reese's
Yeah.
Puffs?
Puffs.
Reese's Puffs. Yes, that with Hershey's dark chocolate. It's pretty good as well.
Do you guys remember Cookie Crisp as a cereal as a kid?
Yes.
Do I ever?
Crisp.
Oh my
Yes.
god, how was that allowed?
I had the bowl.
That is good.
How was that allowed?
I got the one that
There's
had
a
the
lot
extra
of
bowl.
cereals that are how they
Oh,
allowed.
man.
Like Trix
Our French Toast Crunch.
is one of the greatest
Yeah, it
cereals
is,
ever
yeah.
made.
Fruity
yeah, for sure.
Pebbles.
Let's
sugar.
not get into what's allowed in the United States. That's not allowed in
As
any
far
other
as
country.
food, yeah.
Like no
The-
other
yeah,
countries
you
are
would,
allowed.
You would
certain
probably
things.
know.
Other countries like this
All
is actually pure poison.
This is per poison. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I sold
and
it for $2.
and I'm just
All right,
shoveling it into
so,
my mouth.
what is the worst? Or name a couple of the foods that are like horrible for you
I mean,
that we have here that we don't have in other countries.
Most of it's just the
anything-
ingredients.
Anything
right?
from General Mills.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all that stuff is so like Monsanto and all that.
Yeah.
It's all just like
Processed,
chemicals.
modified, all that good stuff.
but-
I mean, even the ketchups
Yeah.
are different.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The way they're made. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you think about it, like anything in moderation is going to be fine for you.
Yeah.
So, like, as a nutritionist, I'm like, all right, like, you like this, you can have some of that. Just don't eat all of it.
So I could have a smaller bowl of that cereal.
Listen,
Maybe if you put it down
I
to
also
one
have this
packet.
rule.
If you downsize a little bit.
I also have this rule. If you don't pay me, I'm not going to judge you.
There you go.
So once someone pays me, I'm going to judge the shit out of you.
Yeah.
But listen, if you're not going to pay me, I'm going to be like, listen, you live your life.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
good.
You do you.
You can,
Maybe
have,
don't.
you can have 2 bowls. It's fine. It's
Maybe
fine.
don't cook for my children.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to share a dinner table, but don't worry about that. You know,
Dude, dinner for children. My daughter eats better than I do.
Does she really?
Absolutely.
My kids eat
grilled
what we
chicken
eat.
and green beans. I'm like, what is-
Wow.
I'm like, who are you? Like, I can't even do that.
How did you get her to eat like that?
I didn't get her to do
She
it. She
just
just
does
liked
it?
it.
Just did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, like my ex made her some food. Like we both make her some foods. And
Yeah.
my rule with her is like, just try it.
Cool.
I don't care if you don't like it.
Just do
Yeah.
it.
Just eat it one time. And then she's like, well, I don't want to. What's the rule? Okay. She tries it and she's like, I like it. I'm like, no shit. I'm not going to give you something that I don't think you don't like
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever it might be. But kid will just eat apples all day and chicken. Like,
Man.
what is going on? I mean, she's pretty ripped for a little kid. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like,
She's pretty.
She's got
in shape.
definition. It's just like, you know,
That's
but you can tell because my big thing is like, you have to eat your protein first.
Yeah, yeah.
So she eats eggs every morning,
Yeah.
which is, you know, that and then sausage or bacon. But for the most part, like she just wants chicken and green beans or like
Man.
pasta and red sauce. But I mean, it's not like the greatest thing. But
No.
I'm like, you have to eat a side of steak or chicken.
Yeah,
and then
some
you can have your
protein in
pasta.
there,
And she's
yeah.
like, okay.
Man, we grilled steaks, had potatoes, broccoli, and carrots, and she touched none of it.
Really?
All she wanted was pears or yogurt.
Pears are good. I do like pears.
We're like, this is a pretty awesome dinner, and that's all you want.
I feel like my kids just eat orange food groups. So like either a
Carrots?
carrot or mac and
Carrots?
cheese, and maybe if like I overcook
Oranges?
oranges. If I overcook the chicken nuggets, you know, then they look a little orangey, you know. So
So you do that on purpose now.
yeah, basically, it's
Just
the
put some
joy.
food coloring in
It's the
there.
joy of like you will eat this. If I do this one thing slightly different than I would do it for myself, awesome. I'm gonna do that every single time.
I don't tell my wife what to eat, but my kids eat what we eat.
Yeah.
So like if I'm cooking, like tonight we had steak sweet potato.
Cool.
You know, they had steak sweet potato. My 10-month-old is eating steak.
Cool.
I mean, he's
That's awesome.
a horse.
Good for you, man.
He's like 27
Did teeth?
pounds.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Do you have teeth?
Yeah, he has teeth.
I don't know when they get teeth.
He has.
Depends on the
he
kid.
has
It's different
eight-
every kid.
He has 8 teeth.
Wow.
Seriously?
Yeah. I'm telling you, something's up with this kid.
I've honestly, it's been a huge blessing of her, my daughter at least, wanting to eat those foods because I'm like, thank God, you know, it's not
Yeah.
like because I see some kids just chomping on chips and candy all day.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, she eats
Could
candy.
be a
Yeah,
nightmare.
yeah.
I'm not saying she doesn't. I'm just
No.
like, you
Yeah.
know, she'll sneak Milky Ways, and I'm like, yo, chill out. You know, like,
yeah.
I don't know why she loves Milky Way so much, but for the most part, it's like always like protein. We're good.
That's cool.
I got no complaints. And like, can I have a treat? I'm like, yeah, sure.
That's fine.
You eat
As long
everything
as you eat
else.
the protein.
Eat
Yep.
everything else, we're good to go.
Yep.
So
Well, at some point you're like, all right, well, they're asking for a treat. If you tell them no, they're going to find a way to get something.
yeah.
And they're not going to tell you about it. So like if my daughter like loves freaking applesauce.
Yeah.
Like we go through so much applesauce, like
Yeah.
it's wild.
Like the squeeze packs?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
She loves
So
it.
do I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Well, yeah.
I don't eat that stuff. But so she like
My child.
if she wants it, aren't we all?
Hopefully, young at heart.
Emotionally, I am probably around 12. But like, if she wants it, I'm going to give it to her, unless it's like unreasonable.
Yeah.
But like, I just don't want it because like my family, we were always on diets. So
Okay.
like, my mom was always drinking Diet Coke because she thought I was on a diet. You know, whatnot. But we're Italian. Like, I mean, we eat. My dad's Irish. He drinks. You know, it's just
Yeah.
like. I'm a conglomerate of like the best things I do are eating and drinking. So I don't want to hide food. Like, and that's what I did when I was a kid. It was I hid food. My sister hid food, and my sister was upwards of 300 pounds at one point. You know, so it's like I don't want to
like
put that on my
heavyweights.
kids.
Yeah, kind of though. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a definite big believer of like just because whatever you try to hide from your kids doesn't make them suddenly be like, oh, cool, I no longer have an interest in this.
Yeah, that
Right,
means
right.
So
they
you can
want it
either
more.
be a guide for your children and the
Yeah.
stuff they're intrigued by, or be someone who tells them no and is no longer a trusted source.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things that I'm trying to like learn. As
Yeah,
a
it's
parent,
hard.
Is that like so? I was verbally abused at school because I was heavy.
Yeah. Which you said you were like 200 pounds in sixth grade or
grade,
so.
yeah.
That sucks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it was one of those things. I don't want them to go through that.
No, of course
My
not.
wife was on the other side of things, where she was so skinny that she was made fun of for being thin.
Yeah.
So like she doesn't want them to go through that. So it's like kind of this balance of trying to figure out how to toughen them up at the same time as not lose their that innocence and that childhood. So that's the struggle right now for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not very fun to figure that. I feel like you're trying to like something happened to you as a kid that caused a wound, for lack of a better way to put it. And then you look at your own kids and you're like, if I could spare you from this, that would be
100%.
great.
100%.
But then also like you are different than me. So would this be the same struggle for you if you went
Right.
through this? I don't actually
Yeah.
know.
Different time period. Different
Exactly,
kids, all that
yeah.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's what I always say. Like I could have gone the other way.
Yeah.
Like I could have just kept gaining weight
Yeah.
and gotten bigger and locked myself behind a computer and played video games all the time. But thankfully, I've played sports since I was like 3. So
Yeah.
it's highly beneficial. We have my daughter's in gymnastics and dance, and she's going to be in jiu-jitsu soon.
Oh,
cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, my daughter's in tumbling, which is like trampoline. Do flips
Sure.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Doing
And
flips.
she was doing
and-
gymnastics, then for some reason she took a liking to just the trampoline and like doing flips and stuff.
Heck
So
yeah,
we moved
that
over
sounds
there.
like fun.
I mean, yeah, I keep asking them to do it and they won't let me. So I'm like I can do a back tuck. Like, let me
Sir,
let me
please
get the
put
trampoline.
your shoes back on
Yeah, exactly,
and
yeah,
get
yeah.
away from the
Sir,
trampoline.
Reagan's dad. Leave him alone.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, she had to meet this weekend, and I think she enjoys that little competition. She was kind of like me, where she's the only child. I was the only child. So like, all the attention's on you all the time. She's the only child on my ex's side of the family too.
Oh, okay.
Only grandchild on both sides of the family. I was
Oh.
the same on my dad's side. I had, a couple cousins, and it's like you just get a lot of spotlight on you. So it's always kind of like, I think she gets a little embarrassed about it. But now it's, now that she's doing it more and more, competing more and more, she gets, a couple medals. She's getting first or second or
Liking
third,
it.
and she's like, I want to do that again. I'm like, all right, there we go.
That's cool.
Her other ribbons, I'm like, we're not going to keep those. I don't do the
Participation.
I watched it last time. They have these stanchions for the first, second, and third place, and like 4th through 10th, they line it up, and I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like,
Throw it.
great job, sweetie, but
I
like,
agree.
we're not keeping this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not how I was raised. Like,
We
I'm not,
never had that.
No.
there's no
never
participation.
had
We don't do
that.
participation medal. Like, they do it for all the kids. I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to be. Like, make them. They want to compete.
No, I
Like,
cried.
Yeah.
People inherently want
When
to
I
compete.
didn't win, I cried. I got tough, and I kept going.
But it's fuel, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
people inherently want to compete, whether
Yeah.
they realize it or not, or admit it or not. Like, you go into a gym, you want to compete.
Yeah.
Whether
You
you
see
admit it or
people
not,
around you. Yeah.
I'm not competitive. Like, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You may not be uber competitive, but like you are. Kids are the same way. Like,
Yep.
well, she did really good. We'll go practice.
Yeah.
So like, we have a tumbled track at home. So like,
Oh, cool.
you get home and she's like, hey, I want to do back handsprakes or something. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
We had an hour. Like,
And
an
you get
hour
up
of just
there,
doing
too,
it
and-
nonstop. And well, yeah, I mean, I spotted her how to do everything
Cool.
and like practice. I have family members that did gymnastics and stuff like that. So like, they get on her too, like point your toes, make sure
Yeah.
your legs are straight. And so she just
That's pretty
she's
cool.
leaving school and they all know she'll run this lap and then she'll just start doing round offs and everybody's like, all right, whatever. That's Reagan. 'Cause that's what she
Reagan.
does now because she's so ingrained with
Yeah.
doing stuff. I'm like, you don't need this participation trophy. Like, work until you
Yeah.
get 1, 2, 3 and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, I see some parents like, great job. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't a great job.
I gotcha.
They
Yeah.
clearly were not a great job because they would have been first, second, or third. They
Yeah.
could have done better. I'm like, tell them.
I think
How they
as a
did.
kid, if given a participation award, in my head, I was like, but I didn't care that much. Like, why am I getting an award?
Yeah.
Also, like, you as a kid know, like, when
Yeah.
you gave a shit and tried.
Like, clearly these people did better than I
Exactly,
did. So,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I don't need this.
So, like, if my kids get like or anything in that realm, I'm like, hey, do you want to achieve that? Is that something you
Yeah.
want to get to? Yes or no? Is this something that's fun to you?
Right.
Cool. Then let's just keep having fun. Because inside your own self, even when you're like 5 or 6, like, do you participation award? And you're like, I didn't care this much.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm okay with admitting
Yeah,
that.
for
Like,
sure.
don't
Yeah.
give me an award. I
Yeah,
don't
for
care
sure.
that much. Like,
I don't know. The way I was raised, like, it was
Go work
either
harder.
You succeed
Yeah.
or you learn.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, I'm Irish, Italian, Catholic. All right. Everything was either you give 100% or you just don't do it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I participation trophy. My father would probably just burn it outside of
Yeah.
the event. And, it was just not something that,
In front of the coach.
yeah, in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Like, my dad got kicked out of rinks.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was very vocal. My
Okay.
dad, both my parents are 5'4", so it's like
5'4" and Irish. You didn't have to say he was vocal. I could
Yeah.
seriously. Yeah. So he has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I learned how to utilize that chip for myself. Like I have a chip on my shoulder. I'm
Yeah.
not 5'4". I'm not like this little guy or anything like that. But I utilize that to help kind of push myself.
Yeah.
And sometimes it could be to a detriment. And I don't want, like, it's that fine balance of being like, all right, do I want my kids to be like me? I would like them to enjoy life a little bit more. And not that I didn't enjoy life, but like, I want them to explore more. I was so like, I'm going to college, play sports. I'm going to go get a job. I didn't take any time to actually like assess. I went right into working in professional sports, and then I was a nutritionist, and then, it's been 20 years since then.
Yeah.
So I would like them to explore more. if they want to, obviously, I'm not going to force them to do anything.
No, but once again, you know what you did growing up. You're like, I should have done that a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And then you look at your kids and you're like, how do I make sure you don't make the same mistakes or not mistakes? The ways in which I look back now and I'm like, I could have been a little bit better here. How do you make sure your kid sees that also?
I definitely want my daughter to be better than me for
Yeah.
sure. Like whatever she's picking.
Hopefully everyone
but the hard part, like you want her to succeed. I want her to succeed, but I legitimately want her to be better than me. And sometimes I'm like, am I too hard on her?
Yeah, of course.
Like I know how my dad was, but my dad was not an overly excited guy. He wasn't like a strict military guy by any means. My dad's just very quiet for the most part, always quiet. And for him, like when I would do things well or like succeed and went really high up in soccer and all that stuff, he was just kind of like, that's expected. So like there was no like,
yeah, I feel that.
That sucks.
but honestly, like I don't find that bad for me. Like I don't need the cheering. Like I don't like the parents that are just like, great job, honey. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like nobody cares. For him, he's like, I expect you to do that well. Yeah. Like you work hard all the time. And I played baseball mostly and then I switched to soccer, but it's like, just work hard. Then you get the results and like you should expect that because you've worked that hard. And that's just kind of how I got raised. And so when my daughter does well, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, it's expected. Like you should be doing well. You're, practicing and putting in the work for it. At the same time, like, should I cheer for her? She's a girl. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. Like,
it's the hard
can I be soft to my daughter?
It's the really hard balance of your dad probably to some extent was trying to communicate respect.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you put a lot of work in and you got the results because of the work you did.
Yeah.
But like there's also
I
then
knew
you
were
look back
gonna
and
do
you're like, there also was a moment for emotional connection there also.
There was, I'll be honest with you, my dad and I have a better relationship in the last 3 years than we had in the first 35.
Really? Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, without a doubt. Like I don't have any real like close emotional thing with my dad at all.
Yeah.
Besides like it's expected. Like good job.
Gotcha.
That's it. Like we're not gonna. You should be doing this. This is where you should be. Like practicing all that stuff. Yeah. But way different now. But also he's super soft because of my daughter. So
my dad's
that's about it. Like
when they became grandpas, whenever they got a heart.
Yeah. He actually moved down here because of my daughter.
Oh, seriously?
So, like, his
That's awesome.
company where they worked in Chicago and like COVID and there was a lot of things, kind of took into play and they were looking to move and he was like, well, you're down here.
If I'm moving, I'm moving.
Your daughter's down here. Like it might be, makes it super easy. So super convenient.
My parents did. They moved.
Huge blessing.
Moved to Maryville to be with my sister and her. I mean, they just immediately moved, sold their house and moved.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been awesome.
Grandparents will do, man.
Oh yeah.
And that's, I mean, I think like to your point, like do I, it's hard when you see how you were raised and we're here. We turned out all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can at least laugh about our scars.
Yeah. But then I look at
I'll
cry later.
We'll
It's
hug you
fine.
later,
Yeah.
Ian, okay?
Off camera.
I'll cry myself to sleep. But no, I look at how my father was with me and it worked with me.
Yeah.
Because I was driven by wanting to make him proud.
For sure. Yeah.
And then
Beating him
was and that was always the goal. Like But like when it came down to it, my sister did not, he treated her the same and it did not work well with her. It was a different personality. It was a different a reaction to that. So like how do you do, like I don't want to be the dad that's like getting in my kid's face or like yelling at them or telling them like the one thing and my father
gotta be flexible, man.
Yeah, my father would tell you right now, he'd be like, I did a lot of stuff that I didn't know what I was doing, but that's how my father raised me.
Yep.
Like he would throw the choke sign up at my sister at a basketball game. like she's missing some shots. And listen, I love my dad. Like, we have a great relationship.
That's brutal, man.
But actual tough love.
That he would do that to me and I would give him shit back. Like she did not, and she like reacted very poorly to it. So like I struggle with it because I just don't want to put my kids in that situation where they have to choose that emotion that they have to get back. I want it to be so genuine, and I want it to be like, I want them to know that I'm proud of them without me having to like coax it out of them that they need that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you show your kind of like love and affection for them, but like, I mean, that's exactly what I wanted. Like, she knows that I'm proud of her. Your kids are gonna know that you're proud of them without you having to like, whether you say it or not. I mean, you can obviously say it, but like, they just know. It's like, okay, dad's doing this. That means that he's proud of me. Kind of thing. So the nonverbal communication. real good at that.
My face doesn't change very much, so I think people get really confused by, like, is he kind of being a dick right now?
Yeah, yeah,
Or is
yeah.
he being serious, or is he kidding? Like, we
Which
don't
one
really
is it?
know. Yeah.
And you said that,
I
and you're
like,
like, this is kind of fun.
I like
I'm
to
going to keep doing
people
this.
on their toes. Yeah. So that's like when I'm coaching class, people are like,
He hates
are
me.
you serious?
Are you mad at me for that?
I'm like, no, 99% of the time I'm just being sarcastic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my face doesn't move. It's like natural Botox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued as my kids get older to that balance of like, all right, how do I push you to be better, but also in the same communicate that I believe in you as an individual at the
Yeah.
same time? Because that's probably like, to speak for your sister, she probably was like, does dad believe in me as a
Yeah.
person because he's telling me I'm choking as I'm trying to do my best?
Yeah.
And like that's not the message your dad wanted
Right,
to
right.
communicate.
No.
But that's how it was interpreted. So you can
Well-
only control how your kids interpret you so much.
Yeah.
But
That's where you
is
got to
the
be
balance.
flexible. You got to be flexible. You got to know, okay, well, shit, this isn't working now.
Yeah.
Maybe I got to switch
oh,
it
she
up.
cried when I said that. I should
Yeah.
probably not do
Just be
that again.
flexible.
Well, it's the balance of emotion and logic.
Yeah, pretty much. It's hard.
Logically, I know my kids should know
Yeah.
that I am there to support them no matter what.
And I love them.
Yeah, 100%. Emotionally, how they react is such an up and down
Yeah.
because they don't know how they react. They don't know how their emotional state is. They,
Yep.
they don't know what's going on. So
Yeah.
it's like my wife's constantly telling me, she's like, you kind of have to be the one that controls that emotional output. I'm like, that's hard.
Oh yeah.
Because it is.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
like, hey, my daughter pooped in my foot today. I mean,
awesome.
like, and you
And
know
that was
what?
part of your day-to-day life.
That was right before I came here.
Is that what that smell is?
Yeah, I was supposed to wipe it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but like, I could have either gotten like really pissed off.
Yeah.
I actually just, I was
Kinda laughed
laughing my
about it.
ass
Yeah,
off.
of course, yeah.
My wife is on the ground laughing at me. She's like, I'm about to pee. I'm about to pee. and I'm standing there laughing.
With poop
like,
on your foot.
With poop.
Yeah.
Like, and I have a very strong sense of smell. It came back, by the way, finally.
Hey, congrats.
Yeah. Since 2020.
Since
Oh,
I've
wow.
known him,
Yeah.
he hasn't been able to smell. So
Yeah, so, but I could smell the poop on my foot. And I'm just laughing, because like, I don't know, like,
Is what
life.
it is.
one
Yeah.
day she won't be pooping on your
Yeah.
foot, and you'll be like, "Man, I missed that day."
I miss the
Miss
little
those
bit.
days.
I don't know if I will go that far because,
The poop nostalgia won't be there.
Man, I had an issue with other people's bodily fluids
Yeah.
before I had kids.
Yep,
Then I had
same here.
I think most people do.
piss, puke, pee, poop. Everything's been on me now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, whatever.
This might as well
Yeah.
happen. All right, so we're gonna start wrapping the episode down.
Okay.
If you wake up at like 3 to go work out, we got to make sure you get back home. So you
Yeah,
can go
how
to
many
bed.
hours of sleep do you usually get?
Yeah, so this is an hour past my bedtime.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
It is
8:30.
about my bedtime.
It's
Yes.
pretty close to mine too.
My
So-
daughter goes down at 7.
Yeah,
My head hits pillow.
Yep.
that's how you are too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how we end all of our episodes is we ask the same 5 questions to all of
man.
our guests.
Who wants to start first?
They trade back and forth.
Oh.
Yeah.
But who wants?
yeah.
Just answer the question.
Okay.
They can figure it out.
What were your
Justin.
kids' backup names?
Oh man.
Like, what did you almost name your kid?
I'll be honest. I really don't remember that. I don't think we had a backup. I think if we had a boy, I'm sure it would be something different. But I think between my ex and I think Reagan was always the name for a girl. I will say that I've been sent a lot of memes about the name Lillian
Okay.
because it says Little Ian. And I'll be honest, I really missed the mark on that one. But it never even occurred to me to name my daughter Lillian.
Lil-
But I'm like,
Lil
but
Ian?
I really missed the mark
Okay.
on not knowing that.
If
until
Reagan
now.
becomes a rapper, you just came up with a rapper.
I mean,
name
I'd
now.
for sure give
Lil
her Lillian.
Ian.
Yeah. I was like, that's a great name she could have had, but I missed that one. So I think it was always Reagan for sure.
That
and
is
it's also my
amazing.
grandmother's name is Leo Ray, so that's
Okay.
where it comes, like her spelling and like having that in the name. So,
That's cool.
but anyway, no, I don't have a backup name. Lillian.
I mean, we almost didn't have a name for my daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like,
Still.
we listen.
Number 1.
we couldn't agree on any name. So like we were watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. one time, and Cora came up, and we were
Yeah.
like, Cora?
You
My
hate
wife
that?
looks
Because
at
I
me,
don't
she's
hate that.
It's like, yeah, Cora. I'm like, Did we just name our daughter off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
So
Yep.
I see you're wearing a Marvel shirt as well, so
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're a big Marvel fan.
I collected comics as a kid.
Same.
I mean, a lot of 200-pound sixth graders collected comics. So
Just lived in a different
Yeah.
That was your
world.
community.
A 125-pound kid did it as well.
we
man.
would have been friends, man.
There we
Come
go.
on.
That's right.
I still have my comic book cards.
Dude.
Yeah.
My mom threw all my comic books out. I'm still angry.
Yeah. Well, mine
It's a
left
lot of
them
money.
That was.
on a
Yeah.
box
Not going to get over that one.
on the floor of our always flooding basement.
God.
Man, I
and
miss
got
basements.
destroyed.
Oh,
I
yeah,
miss
basements.
Basements
Mi-
were
Midwest
the jam.
basements? Oh,
Midwest
man.
Nothing better than
All
Midwest
high
basement.
school, man.
For sure.
Dude, anytime it rained, our basement flood, and me and my sister would have to go down there with a broom and just try to push it into
Because
our
was
our
your dad
sump pump.
scared? Was your dad scared he was going to drown if he went down there? Is that what he told you?
Damn.
That may have been why.
Wow.
That's why it was just me and my sister.
This guy, he tied it all back. That was beautiful.
Circle.
Tied an entire episode all the way back.
I
You're
know
like,
he's going to give you shit whenever we get.
Yeah, of course.
when
You
we-
better.
With my
interview
son,
him.
I didn't even want to name him what we named him. I like the name Landon. I wanted
Oh,
to
yeah.
name him Landon the whole time, but my father and my wife got together and
You were done.
conspired against me.
we have James the Third. So
I just wanted to make sure it was a name that I tried to bully proof it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Reagan's pretty good to go.
That's what friends are good for.
Like Cora, you can't do anything with
Cora's
Cora.
fine. Jamie is a
Yeah.
both ways name. So,
Yeah, that was my sister.
Gender neutral.
yeah. Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's okay.
Well,
Is
hey,
it Jayme?
talking.
Yeah.
Jamie.
That's me. Cool.
But
Go, yeah,
Sore
so
subject.
my mom's maiden name is Frickenschmidt.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is,
That's awesome.
and it's German. And her first name is Anita. So just kind of say it really fast.
I need a.
I need a freaking shit.
That
Is that
is
real?
fantastic.
Yes.
Is that
So
real?
your grandparents did not bully proof
No.
No.
your mom's name.
Okay, then
Were they
it is
German
my
immigrants,
cousin,
Wait, say the last name again. Frickin' shit.
freaking Schmidt.
Frickin'
But if you
Schmidt.
say it
Anita
fast,
Frickin' Schmidt.
It's
Yeah.
freaking shit.
I
Yeah.
mean, that had to have been
So
exhausting to be that name.
my cousin's name was Amanda. So I need Amanda freaking shit. I need Amanda freaking shit.
This is just like crank calls. This is
This
not
is
real.
yeah.
Oh,
This
dude,
hit
this
me
is-
real. This is
No,
real?
it's real.
It's real?
Oh my
It is
gosh.
totally real. Yeah.
You want to hear something messed up?
Imagine looking at that driver's license as a cop. Like, no
Well,
way.
No, this is a
So-
fake.
It's a fake.
So
Yeah.
my last name is Cotton. So my mom's name is Anita Cotton. Whenever I would call, like back when there were no cell phones and
Yeah.
you had to call like the restaurant if you needed to get a hold of your mom or dad when they're going on a date, I'd call and say, "Is Anita Cotton there?" They would think I was prank calling and would just
of
hang up.
course. Yeah. They'd be like, no, this isn't a joke. Anyway, next question. Who's your favorite TV dad?
I defer to you.
Bandit.
Bandit, yes.
Nice.
It's a great answer.
He also makes me feel the most uncomfortable because he's so good.
He's so good.
It's ridiculous.
You can't live up to the Bandit standard.
No.
Does he work? I
He
mean,
does.
sometimes
He's an archaeologist.
he goes away for like 6 weeks at a time.
But do you know the great joke of what he is since he's an archaeologist? He digs up bones.
That makes sense.
Oh, and she works airport security.
Yeah,
or something
because she
like that.
sniffs out problems.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
very subtle dog joke.
You've clearly thought.
I
about
have
this a
3
lot.
kids and I'm a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what you
you're
do
waiting.
when you watch it for the episode for the 10th time. You're like, all right, I'm just going to start Wikipediaing some stuff. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Can we watch that episode over again?
Yeah, basically.
We just watched it
Actually,
for the third time.
did you see when you froze the 3rd frame?
Oh, I'm gonna say Red.
Red Foreman?
Red Foreman.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Was that how your dad was?
That's
That's the
60s,
sense
No,
I get.
not
Okay.
at all. Like I was not like berated at all.
That's
But
every show.
Dumbass.
Show,
That's
yeah.
on the show, yes.
I was obsessed with that show for a long time. No, my dad never berated me in
Okay.
any capacity whatsoever.
I was obsessed with
I was
Mila
never.
Kunis.
I don't even.
Yeah,
Know if,
same.
I don't think I was ever yelled at.
Okay.
I have no recollection of being yelled at. I mean, probably at some point, but I have nothing of my mom or dad ever yelling at me. It was just kind of like I got that look.
Yeah.
I was like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I know I've said this before, but
I'm gonna
we
go
live
walk.
different lives.
So it seems.
Yeah, it was just like a very stern, stoic look of like, don't do that again.
You know you were wrong.
We'll be okay. Yeah, you'll be okay if you don't do that again.
I always got the James Joseph, and I'm like,
My mom told me that's why middle names exist. It's know when you really did something
Yeah.
wrong.
yeah,
Like, oh, shit.
yeah, that's an oh shit moment.
Yep.
Yep. All right, next question. Least favorite kid show or movie?
Least favorite kid
One that
show.
you have to watch over and over again, and you're like, God almighty, please no.
I'm so thankful right now that my kids like Mario Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Like my son will even sit there and watch it. You know, so that's a good one. Not like
I'm going to say Blippi. The dude that started it is rich.
Yeah, he's
Like
super rich.
crazy rich.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he was just making like YouTube videos for his kid or something. My girlfriend explained it to me. I don't remember what it was. I don't like the show. I don't understand how he can do that all the time. I don't like the context of it all.
Or the character
I
he's
don't
created.
get it. I don't like any of it. What?
Miss Rachel.
What's that?
Oh, yeah.
It's
That's
similar to
basically the
Blippi,
same.
yeah.
It's like the same thing. Like
I hate it.
How,
Just a newer.
Absolutely hate it.
how do you do that all the time? How are
I
you
don't
so
know.
freaking happy?
Yeah.
With that
Like
voice.
stop it.
My daughter's into
jeez.
like, you know what You vs. Wild is?
No.
It's Bear Grylls.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
There's no agenda. It's just him out in the wilderness, and it's like, pick what he does. Does he use a slingshot or does he use a machete? She's like, machete. I'm like, all right, great. Are we going to skydive in or are we going to, take a helicopter? And then she's like, Dad, what have you done? I'm like, both. She's like, well, tell me about it. I'm like, all right, like, whatever. And then just that's the whole show. Like, you just keep to this interaction, like help him get to the end result and solve, the problem or find, a person or a dog or whatever it might be. And it's like, it's just a very educational show. And I'm like, thank fucking God somebody made this show. Thank Bear Grylls,
Bear
like,
Grylls, yes.
never watched a Bear Grylls show ever. And I'm like, I know who he is. Obviously he's a very, well-known guy. And I like what he's French Foreign Legion, all that stuff. But like, this show is fucking great.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing besides him just out in the wilderness, like
Did
showing
you
kids.
have him eat the eggs?
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah.
He threw up.
And he
It
threw
was
up.
bad.
But
It's like,
so he eats
it's over.
eggs and like he throws up. And I'm like, also good on them for like showing that, it's not like, it's not grotesque. It's not like whatever, but it's just showing stuff like it's realistic. Like it's a very,
Actually
very good
ate them
show.
and threw up.
Yeah.
Like,
For the clip. Is it like
Yeah.
a choose your own adventure basically?
Choose your own. It's exactly what
Okay,
it is.
cool.
Choose your own adventure. Like you have the little remote. She knows how to use all that stuff.
Okay,
I'm like,
yeah.
Pick left or right. Just pick whatever.
Oh, so
but-
it's like the old school books.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. But
Okay.
like you can pick both. Obviously, it's like they can watch both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever goes on. But it's just a great show for them to watch. There was another one like
Is
that.
it on what, Netflix?
It's on
or-
Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I would
I'll
highly
have to
advise.
check
I
that
mean,
out.
and then she
Yeah.
watches a lot of like Planet Earth stuff,
Cool.
Yeah.
and she just gets mesmerized. And I'm like,
Yeah, me too.
I do too. I'm like, like just quiet. She's just staring at it. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
And the blippy shit every now and then, it used to be way more. And I'm like, this is awful.
Yeah.
I hate everything about this show.
Next question. What's your favorite kid's toy? Like when your kid plays with it, you also enjoy playing with it also.
I will say either her tumble track because I'll do flips
Yeah.
on it and stuff, or like tonight we played. She's getting into tennis,
Yeah.
Cool.
but she really just likes me hitting the ball at her. So it's fun for both of us because I just try to pelt her with a tennis ball.
And see
And
what
she
happens.
finds so much joy out of it. I don't understand it, but I'm like, she laughs.
Does she just like go back and forth, and whenever she gets
She just like
pinged,
runs
she
behind a
has to-
couch and stuff. Like she'll just
Yeah.
jump
Yeah,
up and
it's
down or
like
bob
the,
and weave.
yeah, like the
It's
carnival duck
it's-
shooting game.
At first, I was like, "Yeah, be kidding me." And now it's like every day, like, "Hey, can we play tennis?" I'm like, "Sure." And she just leaves her tennis racket. She just gives me mine, and then she's like, "All right,
Here we
go
go.
ahead."
Hit
Like, so
me.
for me, it's great. Yeah, I love it.
I don't have
You
any.
only have toys, I guess.
You can do you can do activity, or if there's like a game you like to play with your kids. Your kids are pretty young, though.
Or
so I
board. She
understand.
likes board games a lot. Scrabble. She's obsessed with Scrabble.
Really
Nice.
Yeah, she's really good at it for
Yeah, we
two-letter
don't-
words.
yeah. I don't want to color. I don't want to do any of that stuff.
Like I'm so tired.
So
I
we
don't
have
want to talk
those
to anyone.
Connect blocks that are magnets.
Yeah, like magnetile.
Magnetiles.
things.
Magnetiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the one I would choose.
Sweet.
What moment of your kid's life are you most excited to be a part of?
Honestly, like I think that the benefit of working remotely has given me the opportunity to be around my kids and make those moments.
Yeah.
So like every moment that's important is like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to not miss a thing. Like I don't want to be the dad that's not at a recital or like I was sitting in the car. I was watching this little girl at a recital, and she saw her dad in the stands and started like crying because she was so happy.
Yeah.
Like I don't want my kid to cry, but like I want to show up for them for everything.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to miss a damn thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, if that means I have to take a back seat and not work out that day or not do something that I was planning on doing because I was there for them, then that's the important moment for me.
Yeah, I'd probably have to agree with that. It's a lot easier when you're doing remote stuff and you're able to. I've missed some things like going to Korea, you know, for a month and stuff like that. And it's part of the reason I got out of the military too, is to be around more often, because I wasn't good at like the 1 to 2 year range or 0 to 2. Like that's just not my thing. I know Jamie says the same thing. Like it's tough for me, but like now the watching like the maturation process of her figuring out shit on her own and like I can do this without asking dad or that kind of stuff is way more impactful for me, and I think for her than it would be like, hey, I got to be at one event or like be, you know, at this event. Like for the most part, I'm at every single event. I don't talk, and she knows that. It's like dad's there, he supports me. Like I will never be loud or cheer for like that stuff, but I'll always be there for every event that I possibly could be for. So I think, like Jamie said, it's just being there for as many, if not all of them, as you can. So.
I think it messes with you when you have a kid and you, like for the first 3 years of their life, there's like such limited independence that you're almost like, how do I teach you how to be independent? It's not possible for 1 year old to really.
I need you to respond.
Yeah, like because like
verbally.
that's how like that's also how I define relationships to some extent. It's like, okay, cool, you did this. Can I coach you through it? Can we discuss it? Can we talk about it? That's how I connect to people usually.
Right.
And a 1 year old just stares at you and poops again, and you're like, okay, cool, this is connection for a couple of years. Here we go.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's wild to watch like how quickly they pick up things now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
at 2.5, like she woke up one morning and was starting like went to bed saying words and woke up speaking sentences.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how does that happen?
Yeah.
It's real cool.
Like it is wild. And all of a sudden my 2.5-year-old is, and my wife and I are both pretty sarcastic and sassy. So I assumed that my kids are going to be the same way. They are.
Yeah. Yeah.
My daughter has got a lot of sass to her.
She probably picked it up from the both of you.
Yeah, I would say it's ingrained in her at this point.
Yeah.
But like it's cool to see those moments where it's like stuff starts clicking.
Yeah, man, it is.
Like my son has said "mama" and "Cora" at this point. So I'm a little disappointed in him for not saying "dada" first, because Cora was "dada" first.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it's cool to see how it's like his track is much different than hers.
Yeah.
He's picking things up. He's like stacking blocks.
Wait, seriously?
Dude,
That's really cool.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know if it's because he sees her.
Yeah.
But like, man, it's just cool to see how different they are.
Yeah.
You know,
It really is.
It's a blast. I love
Well,
being a dad.
Here's the opportunity to do self-promotion. If you guys want to promote like your Instagram, your gym, or anything like that. If we want to learn more about you, follow you on Instagram or like socials or anything like that. Hey, promote yourself.
Yeah.
You go, man. I have nothing to promote. Me.
He promotes him. My Instagram's at the numbers 27 health and wellness. My gym is at CrossFit Trivium, which is actually suspended at the moment.
Ooh,
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Oh.
But we had like 10,000 followers.
that sucks.
Yeah. So
That's
we have
annoying.
we have
That's
to restart. Yeah, that's how you would find me.
Okay. And
My Instagram is just at Ian Schinelli.
cool.
So
And we'll
pretty
tag you in the
easy. Yeah,
post when we
yeah,
do and
great.
everything.
Yeah.
And do you guys now have like a Dadurdays Instagram
Dadurdays,
account?
yeah.
At Dadurdays, DADURDAZE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll tag all of the accounts.
Yeah, please
and all
do.
of
Yeah,
everything.
sweet.
But
If guys that hear this, I mean, if they want to work out, reach out to us.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Saturday mornings are
Everybody
not-
brings in like not every weekend, but people will be like, "Hey, can I bring like a friend kind of thing?" So, not everybody always comes back because they realize I may have overstepped on
The fitness side
the
of things.
fitness side of things, but we
Yeah.
try to be somewhat we're very welcoming and accommodating for. But it's like I would say it's a very high level of fitness compared to
Cool.
what you would expect in most places. So.
And it's about the fellowship.
Yeah,
More
we're
than
more
anything
about like
else.
guys just hanging out and
Yeah.
and sweating together and
Yeah.
being miserable for the rest of the day. So,
so you can go on a dad walk and sweat
Yeah.
at Shelby
Yes.
Bottoms at 9:30, or wake up at 3:30.
we'll have a recovery walk and a
Yeah,
coffee.
there you
with
go.
You guys at Shelby.
Come
Where
hang
you-
out.
We'll meet you down.
Where
There
you're
you go.
where you're calmed down, basically.
Yeah.
I like that.
But Ian, Jamie, thank you so much for your time,
Thank you guys.
Really
Appreciate
appreciate it.
it.
It was a lot
Awesome.
of fun.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks again for listening. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Nashville Dads and to subscribe to us on Apple and Spotify podcast. We record at New Light Podcast Studio and episodes are produced by me, Devin.